Hello and welcome to another of Bert's builds. This is military subject in this case. It's just, again, it's not to demonstrate my modelling skills. I'm not the best model maker in the world, but I do have some ideas, and this is what my videos are about really, is just to give you some ideas and inspiration. And, perhaps with your better modelling skills, you may make a better product, or you might be inspired by some of my ideas. Okay, so the subject is a Sherman tank in British service in Italy, Sicily or Italy really. Now, as you can see, it's kind of a bit of a hybrid, as a lot of Sherman tanks were, particularly ones that served in the desert. Now, although it's in Italy, it's quite common for them to have served in Italy and Sicily still with their desert camouflage on. So I chose to do that rather than to paint it the usual green, just because I just thought it was a little more interesting. So it's perhaps a little bit out of the norm, but I quite liked it. So I've done it in the desert scheme. It's heavily stowed, as you can see, as desert fashion, and a lot of these veterans from the desert campaign had got used to sort of heavily stowing with water and their kit and etc, etc. But I also wanted it to tell a little story. So as you can see, there's a mixture of equipment on the back there. One item is that there's a post 1941 RAC helmet there, whereas they previous to that had worn the or been issued with the standard battle bowler. So it's to tell a story really. A replacement crewman is given more updated kit. So that's, I'm just trying to tell a little story here. Stowed jerry cans there again, the stowage, a mixture of War Department US issue and German issue jerry cans, again to tell a little story. These guys would pick up any kit that they could find, particularly when it came to the jerry cans, as they were quite sought after, particularly by the British, because their flimsies weren't very good. They literally fell to bits. If they were dropped, they would just smash and fall to bits. So I've got it in a kind of street scene here, Sicily or Italy. I've got a captured German crewman there, Panzer crewman, who's just being vaguely guarded by a member of the London Irish Rifles, and he's wearing a carbine. So some of you might think that his beret is pulled down on the wrong side. Well, it isn't, because the carbine at that period by the London Irish was actually pulled down to the left, and it was also a very big garment. My dad, who was a veteran of this regiment, said that you didn't wear a carbine, you walked beside it. So that isn't a mistake, that's the way it is. The little statue you see there was actually from I'd had it for years. It came from a very expensive cracker, Christmas cracker, and it's actually metal. And I kept him because I knew he would come in handy, and there you go. I've used him as a little statue there, just as a bit of set dressing. The posters that you see, I literally just typed in propaganda posters, Italian propaganda posters, World War II. Lots of them came up, and I then saved them and then printed them off and cut them out, and they're all kind of circa World War II Italian propaganda posters. Various bits of debris there just to give it a bit of atmosphere. Just pots and pans and discarded boxes and ammo crates and yada yada, just to, you know, give it a bit of interest and something to look at. The wall and the capstones are, the wall itself is a model railway accessory item. Just use a couple of sheets of that, painted and then dry brushed. Painted black initially and then dry brushed in grey and then in white, just to give them a bit of texture, and some staining obviously there to make them look lived in, used. Capstones are just plastic card cut into sections, sanded and then painted and stuck in place, just to, you know, just to finish the wall off really. The crew are a mixture of Tamiya and Dragon figures, and the decals are stuck on. I actually stuck them on with PVA rather than decal fix or just soaking them, because I've found that they stay on. It's very fiddly. It's very tricky to actually get them to stick on with PVA. End up getting stuck to your fingers and various other parts of your body, but anyway, it works and they stay on, and it's a much more satisfactory result. But I'll let you decide how you want to do that. As I said, accessories, a spare tyre there from, I think that was a Tamiya BMW motorcycle outfit. So the markings that you see were, for the most part, they were done with stencils, photo etched stencils for the serial number there and for the squadron marking. The little, I don't know how well you can see that, the little roadside shrine there was something that the little crucifix I actually got from my local church. It was unblessed, so it wasn't an item that I had to worry about using for such a frivolous purpose. But anyway, roadside shrines are quite common in Europe and Italy and etc. So I just built it just again for a bit of interest really, and so I stuck that on, painted around it, made the actual shelter for it out of balsa wood. And the flowers that you see are actually real flowers, little tiny little flowers, dried out and sprayed and varnished so that they keep their colour, and they're supposed to look quite dishevelled. That's, you know, that's deliberate, because it's obviously something that, you know, people got other things on their minds at that time, other than keeping flowers on a roadside shrine. So overall, I was reasonably pleased with the result, and I thought it was something a little bit more interesting than the usual kind of, you know, American Sherman, and showed that, you know, the sort of equipment that were used by the forces, the British forces and Commonwealth forces in Italy and Africa, which was actually, you know, the early war stuff. They were given second dibs on the latest kit. So, you know, for them to have an 18-inch bayonet and a full satchel for their respirator and etc. was, you know, not in the least uncommon. So overall, I think you know, it tells a little story. I hope it does anyway, and I hope it's interesting and of use to some of you. And thanks for watching the video, and please feel free to leave any comments, questions, and I'll be glad to answer. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.